While Germany and France debate their shrinking economies, Poland just posted 4% GDP growth in a single quarter, the fastest in the European Union. This isn't luck. It's a strategic masterclass the old powers are only now beginning to understand and fear. What secret formula allowed Poland to achieve uninterrupted growth for over 30 years while the rest of Europe stagnates? Poland is Europe's new economic champion. Not Germany, not France, not the United Kingdom, Poland. The numbers are undeniable. Fourth quarter of 2025, 4% GDP growth, the highest in the entire European Union. Unemployment, the lowest in the region. Industrial output, up 25 to 30%, while neighbors flatline or contract. And here's the kicker. This growth isn't some flash in the pan. Poland has expanded economically almost without interruption since the early 1990s. Think about that timeline. The fall of communism, the dot-com crash, the 2008 financial crisis, the Eurozone debt spiral, COVID-19, energy shocks, supply chain collapses, every major economic disaster of the past 3 decades, and Poland just kept growing. By 2025, Poland's GDP crossed $900 billion. Per capita income, over $1 trillion when adjusted for purchasing power. These aren't the stats of a transitional economy playing catch-up. This is the profile of a European powerhouse. The Polish labor market tells the same story. While Spain grapples with youth unemployment and Italy loses its workforce to emigration, Poland faces labor shortages because everyone's working. Factories can't find enough hands. Tech firms poach talent from each other. Wages rise year after year, not because unions demand it, but because productivity justifies it. This success wasn't handed to Poland. The country emerged from Soviet collapse with crumbling infrastructure, worthless currency, and an industrial base designed for a command economy that no longer existed. The early reforms of the 90s were brutal. Shock therapy that gutted state enterprises and threw millions into uncertainty. But those reforms worked. Poland rebuilt itself by embracing markets, foreign investment, and integration with the West. EU membership in 2004 turbocharged the transformation. Exports grew 26-fold. Modern highways replaced dirt roads. Warsaw's skyline now rivals Frankfurt's. And while the rest of Europe argues about austerity versus stimulus, Poland just builds. Now shift your gaze west. Germany, Europe's industrial engine for a century, is sputtering. Negative growth, factory closures, an auto industry that bet everything on diesel and lost. The country that once exported precision engineering to the world now imports stagnation. France, political paralysis. Endless strikes, a government that can't pass a budget without riots in the streets. The nation that gave us the Enlightenment now can't figure out how to reform its pension system. The United Kingdom, post-Brexit, post-relevance. Growth anemic, investment fleeing. The City of London watches financial services migrate to Dublin, Amsterdam, and Warsaw. But the rot goes deeper than any single nation. The entire European Union is falling behind in the technologies that will define this century. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, advanced semiconductors, biotechnology. The EU lags the United States and China in every single category. Why? Underinvestment. A fragmented digital infrastructure that makes scaling impossible. And regulations, endless suffocating regulations that turn innovation into a compliance nightmare. Every new technology faces a gauntlet of bureaucratic hurdles designed by people who don't understand it. The EU calls this digital sovereignty. The market calls it digital backwardness. Former Polish politician Mateusz Morawiecki put it bluntly: over-regulation is killing European business while America innovates freely. He's not wrong. Silicon Valley moves at the speed of ambition. Brussels moves at the speed of committee meetings. The result? Europe's tech sector is a rounding error compared to the US and China. European companies that do succeed, like Spotify or Skype, immediately relocate their headquarters to friendlier markets. The continent exports its best ideas because it can't nurture them at home. Meanwhile, Poland quietly builds its own advantages. So what's Poland's secret? Economist Piotr Bujak identified the core mechanism. Poland has the best wage-to-productivity ratio in Central Europe. Wages have risen steadily over 3 decades, but they haven't outpaced productivity gains. Workers earn more every year, and they produce even more value than they're paid. This is the sweet spot. Pay people enough to build a consumer economy, but not so much that you price yourself out of global markets. Poland found that balance and weaponized it. The result? An export machine. Polish factories produce components for German cars, French trains, and Swedish furniture. Logistics hubs in Poznan and Wrocław distribute goods across the continent faster than anyone else. When Western Europe needs something built reliably and affordably, they call Poland. Industrial production tells the story. Between 2025, Poland and Lithuania saw output surge 25 to 30%. The Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, single digits or decline. Poland didn't just grow, it pulled away from its peer group. But Poland isn't just a low-cost workshop. The economy rests on 3 pillars that guarantee continued dominance. First, a massive internal market. 40 million people with rising incomes create domestic demand that cushions against global shocks. When exports slow, Poles buy Polish. Second, that export juggernaut. Diversified across sectors: automotive, electronics, food processing, logistics. No single industry collapse can tank the whole economy. Third, infrastructure. The transformation since Euro 2012 is staggering. Poland needed to host a major tournament and had almost no modern roads or stadiums. Under crushing time pressure, the country learned to cut through bureaucracy and deliver projects fast. That capability didn't disappear after the final whistle. Poland now builds highways, rail lines, and energy projects at a pace that makes Western Europe's infrastructure debates look like performance art. While Germany spends a decade debating where to put a charging station, Poland installs 10,000 of them. This isn't just economics, it's strategic positioning. Poland's rise isn't happening in a vacuum. It's happening because rivals are failing. Global supply chains are reshrinking. After COVID-19, after Russia's aggression, after every shock that exposed the fragility of just-in-time logistics stretched across unstable regions, companies want reliability. They want proximity. They want rule of law. Poland offers all 3. Western firms that once manufactured in China or outsourced to Russia are relocating to Poland. It's close to core European markets. It's politically stable, it's in NATO and the EU, and it has workers who actually show up and deliver quality. This is nearshoring in action, and Poland is the biggest winner. Germany thought it could run its economy on cheap Russian gas forever. That dependency is now a strategic liability. Poland diversified its energy sources early, built LNG terminals, invested in renewables. When energy prices spiked, Poland adapted. Germany suffered. France thought its nuclear fleet and bureaucratic inertia made it untouchable. Poland is building its own nuclear program with American and Korean partners who actually finish projects on time. In a decade, Poland will have energy security that France can only envy. The United Kingdom thought leaving the EU meant freedom to compete globally. Instead, British firms now face tariffs and red tape when exporting to their largest market. Polish firms? They're inside the fortress, exporting freely to 450 million consumers. And while Brussels ties itself in regulatory knots, Warsaw acts. When decisions need to be made, Poland makes them. Infrastructure, defense, energy, technology. The Polish government moves with a speed and decisiveness that the EU's consensus-based paralysis can't match. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And right now, the rhythm sounds like the Polish national anthem. Where does this lead? Poland's GDP is forecast to grow 3.5% in 2026. While Germany flirts with recession and France stagnates, Poland continues its march. Within a decade, Poland's economy will rival Spain's in absolute size and exceed it in growth trajectory. But this isn't just about GDP. Poland is positioning itself as the industrial heartland and security anchor of Central and Eastern Europe. New trade routes, new supply chains, new alliances, all running through Warsaw. The country is investing heavily in defense, with military spending that dwarfs its neighbors. In an unstable world, security is a competitive advantage. Companies want to invest where their assets won't be threatened by geopolitical chaos. Poland is becoming that safe harbor. Technology is next. While the EU fumbles its AI strategy, Poland is building research centers, attracting tech talent and creating regulatory sandboxes where innovation can actually happen. The Polish tech sector is small now, but it's growing at double-digit rates. While Western Europe's plateaus, energy transition, Poland is embracing it strategically. Not with utopian timelines that destroy industry, but with pragmatic investments in nuclear, offshore wind, and grid modernization. The goal isn't a virtue signal, it's to guarantee energy independence while maintaining industrial competitiveness. And culturally, Poland is asserting itself. No longer content to be seen as Europe's eastern frontier, Poland is claiming its role as a Central European power with its own interests, its own voice, and its own vision for the continent's future. The old powers, Germany, France, the UK, built their dominance in the 20th century. That era is ending. The 21st century belongs to nations that combine economic dynamism with strategic clarity. Poland has both. This isn't a prediction. It's already happening. The factories are humming, the highways are full, the GDP is rising, and while Brussels debates and Berlin hesitates, Warsaw is building the future. The secret to Poland's boom? It isn't secret at all. It's focus. It's discipline. It's the refusal to accept stagnation as destiny. And it's a lesson the rest of Europe is learning far too late. If you want to see how the next chapter of this story unfolds, how Poland transforms from regional power to European leader, subscribe to Economics Edge. Because this is just the beginning.